The real genocide is happening in Iran right now. It's a disaster. Almost 400,000 people have been shot in the street.
You have experience with the Iranian government. You were tortured in prison. If you had an hour with President Trump in the Oval Office, what would you want to tell him?
He said the help is on the way. The Iranian missiles, they are all over the country ready to destroy many countries. The ideology of Islam destroyed these people's mind. They believe that they are doing this for the sake of Allah. Do you know how Islam came to American school? Let me reveal it for the first time to you.
And welcome back to The Brief. We are joined today by Amir Fakhravar. He is the Senate chairman of the National Iranian Congress and a former political prisoner who was both tortured and jailed by the Islamic regime in Iran. Amir, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So there's really a lot to talk about. There has been a media blackout. There's been an internet blackout. We know that the death toll in Iran is rising. So if you can just educate myself and educate our viewers, what is happening today on the streets of Tehran? What is the daily experience for the Iranian people as they protest the Islamic regime?
No, it's as you said, it's a total blackout for last 2 weeks. The death toll is the latest number we do have is 30,000 people.
Wow.
And it will go up, definitely. Based on my experience, I have been in this fight with the regime for last 34 years. And it will go up to 50,000 and maybe to 80,000 people. Up to now, as Sunday Times reported, that was a very good report, almost 400,000 people have been shot in the street. 400,000. 200,000 deliberately in their eyes. And in just one clinic, the eye clinic in Tehran, we had 7,000 people who had shot in their eyes, and 800 people, the eyes was totally pulled out. And it's a disaster. And 3 million people are under arrest, either house arrest or in the facilities of the security forces of the regime. And it's ongoing process. President Trump mentioned it's not any execution. Yes, they are not executing by hanging, but they are killing the political prisoners inside prisons under torture. They are saying we are not executing. They're just dead because they couldn't handle the torture. And the situation is very bad. No internet, no phone. My family, they are there. My friends, our team members, National Iranian Congress's members, we never couldn't hear from them for last 2 weeks. It's unbelievable.
And so I just want to piggyback on something you had alluded to, which is you have direct personal experience with the Iranian government, with the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. You were tortured in prison. So these tactics that the Iranian government is deploying on the protesters, just so I understand, these are not new tactics. They have been employing these tactics and this brutal oppression of the people since 1979. Would that be an accurate and fair characterization of the government?
You are 100% correct, because the people who came to power, they are the same people. The ideology of Islam destroyed these people's mind. They are just a bunch of terrorists together. Part of them, they are called Basij. Part of them, they are called Sepah Pasdaran, IRGC. Part of them, they are called the Ministry of Intelligence, MOIS. And all are just the terrorists. They believe that they are doing this for the sake of Allah. And because of that, it's easy for them. They don't believe in Allah anymore, by the way, lately. Just it's money and the salary they are paid for. And the latest part, which made a lot more cruel this time and a lot more bloody, is the amount of proxies, IRGC's proxies, who came inside Iran. The Hashd-u-Shabi from Iraq, Fatimiyun from Afghanistan, Zainabiyun from Pakistan, Houthis from Yemen, Hezbollah from Lebanon, Hamas, Jihad Islami, Islamic Jihad. All these terrorists, regime welcomed them because they are all created by Iranian regime. They welcomed in Iran to kill the protesters, and you don't know how much these terrorists, they hate Iranian new generation, and it was easy for them to kill. Something changed when President Trump came to office. A lot of hope came to the society. I want to give a little credit to myself too, because my book, Comrade Ayatollah, came that year. And in the book, I could bring together a lot of facts and documents which showed Iranian supreme leader himself and many of the mullahs have been trained in 60s at Patrice Lumumba University in Moscow. And the thing happened in 1979 was not Islamic revolution. It was a Russian coup. And the new generation, this book was a bestseller in Iranian underground market. And because of that, the new generation, they are looking at politics from another angle after that. Immediately after the book came out, 6 months maybe after the book came out, we have seen the protest in 100 cities. The new generation, Generation Z, came out for the first time. And what's the differences between the protests since then with the protests before is you cannot hear any Islamic chant at all. No Allahu Akbar, no Ya Hussein, Mir Hussein, nothing. Islam went out since 8 years ago. The new generation totally threw Islam out and said, we are not Muslim anymore. And now, you know what? In this protest, they burned more than 700 mosques and Islamic seminaries all over Iran. They burned tens of thousands of Quran all over the country, which we called in our organization National Iranian Congress. We asked the people to do that. We said, Islam is not our religion. We are Persian. Let's go back to our root and let's reject Islam. That was Muslim conquest 1400 years ago. Okay, then right now, let's move on and go for the next step and be again the Iranian, not the Muslims.
So, okay, a lot to unpack there. I do want to touch upon the supreme leader who you mentioned. So let's talk about Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. I understand that one of the, if not central tenets of the protest movement is the eradication of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, the eradication of the mullah system. What I'm trying to understand, so please illuminate for myself and for our viewers, what's the day two? So you get rid of the Ayatollah, you get rid of the mullahs. What do the people of Iran want? Do they want a constitutional monarchy like pre-1979? Do they want a republic? What are the practical political aims and religious aims of the protests in the streets of Tehran today?
The new generation, they are very well educated. And we want, because Iranian people, they love United States. I remember 20 years ago, it was exactly 20 years ago when I escaped prison and came to United States with the help of Bush administration, President Bush administration. Then at my first testimony at the US Senate Homeland Security Committee, I said, we, the Iranian people, we love Americans. All the senators over there said, oh, what you are talking, what is all those chant dead to America? I said, this is from the regime side. The Iranian people, we love United States, we love Israel. We have the reason, good reason for it, because never ever United States and Israel recognized this regime, have done business with this regime. But all those countries in Europe who are talking about human rights, they have been doing business non-stop with this regime. They recognize the regime. And yeah, we love United States a lot, and we want to follow exactly the footprint of American founding fathers and this nation. When 250 years ago, American founding fathers, they came together at the Independence Hall. They wanted to see what is next. They didn't say, okay, we have George Washington, let's go for King George I. Maybe somebody said that, but everybody laughed at it. I said, oh no, we are going to for constitutional republic. And everybody accepted. And you know what? The American founding fathers gave that amazing gift to the world. That was the first written constitution in the planet, which everybody right now trying to follow that path, entire free world trying to follow it. And we want that. We want exactly the same. We don't want any monarchy. The Iranian people, they don't want it. We want the constitutional republic because it showed the world that it's working in this country. Right now, it's the 120th anniversary of our first constitutional revolution in Iran. But you know what? We had 6 constitutional assembly during these 120 years. And never those people who drafted the constitutions in Iran, different constitutions, they didn't understand the meaning of the constitution. They should get it. And that's the movement we started in National Iranian Congress, that the constitution cannot approve any ultimate power, cannot approve supreme leader, cannot approve king with all the power, and constitution cannot approve cannot accept any official religion. In Iranian constitution, during the Shah's time, the Islam was official religion. During the Khomeini's time and Khamenei's time, Islam is official religion. More than 500 times Allah, Islam, all these religious word is in the constitution. That's wrong. That's wrong. Right now, I'm working right now with my team on the 7th Constitutional Assembly for Iran. You asked about the future. That's the clear path for future. The 7th Constitutional Assembly, we even drafted the proposed constitution for future Iran, followed the footprint of American founding fathers, put Islam totally out of the constitution, and said we are all equal, and let's have a constitutional republic then.
So I do want to discuss America's role in this constitutional transitional phase, but just before I do, if we could kind of discuss the elephant in the room, an individual that I know you're quite critical of, and that's the Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, the son of the late deposed Shah of Iran. He is, by all accounts, certainly in the Western media, the face of the opposition. This is someone who President Trump has even commented on publicly. So number one, where does your criticism specifically lie as it pertains to the Crown Prince? And then number two, if he cannot be the main opposition figure, then who can really lead the opposition, not only in the diaspora, but most importantly within Iran itself, should the regime topple?
First, you said President Trump mentioned, I'm glad President Trump mentioned he is not interested to go and meet him. I know this guy. I know Prince Reza Pahlavi since I was in prison in Iran. And we have been in touch. We have been friends, very good friend. I was writing his speeches when he was going for press conference. When I was in prison, sending to him.
Wow.
I had his cell phone and sending it to him. He was going to read it, and he was reading my name even at the end of the speech. And we have all the videos about that. And it lasted 10 years, that friendship. And then I have seen something scary. I told him several times, Reza, you cannot think about being the king, the powerful king. It's not going to happen. The people of Iran, they deserve a constitution to lead them, not any person. And right now you are asking me who is going, if not him, who is going to lead? I'm asking you, during the American Revolution, when then the founding fathers, they came together, nobody was leading them. Constitution was exactly the document who led them and led the nation for 2.5 centuries. We want exactly that. We want the piece of paper called Constitution, well-written Constitution, to guide us toward future. If we have anybody, any person there, we had 47 years ago, we had Khomeini. Khomeini was an old, holy man. And everybody said, oh, no, he cannot be a dictator. But he turned immediately with the power, turned to a bloodthirsty dictator. We have seen it enough. We don't need anybody to come and lead us. Back then, Khomeini became the leader, became High Hitler by the media, by BBC. And right now, some mainstream media, they are trying to paint this poor guy as a leader, the Prince Reza Pahlavi. He is not. You know, when the this round of protests was started, do you know where he was? He was in Greece with his family at the beach. Then Reza Pahlavi, after 10 days, came back from holiday, came to Washington, D.C., and started a press conference and said, I'm asking the people to come out. The people were out for last 10 days, man. And then he said, I'm asking them to come out. And he gave the false hope, which turned bloody for the people. He said, the security forces, they are not going to shoot you. They put down their guns. He had an interview with Sean Hannity. I sent a message to him, said, Reza, you are going to kill the people because it will be mass murdering. You know it's wrong. You know the security forces, they didn't put down their guns. Somebody with this resume definitely cannot lead the nation because he doesn't care how many people have been killed. He cares how many times his hashtag King Reza Pahlavi or Javid Shah have been promoted on social media and he can get more interview. We don't need such a thing. We don't need it. We need a constitution to lead us. Sorry,
So
it was a lot more than you asked me to be short, and I couldn't help myself.
No, you're fine. Clearly, this brought a lot of resentment, warranted or not. But I definitely understand that perspective. Let me just quickly ask in the few minutes I have with you. You keep referencing President Trump, and it's true. You testify in front of the Senate, in front of Congress. You met with President Bush, with the late Vice President Dick Cheney. President Trump has given, I think it's an accurate, objective assessment to say mixed signals. On the one hand, he killed Soleimani just in his first term. He's been speaking on Twitter or Truth Social about help is on the way. Yet at the same time, there hasn't really been American military action in Iran since the protests have begun. But at the same time, of course, the 12-day war, Operation Midnight Hammer, clearly showed that this president is not afraid of military intervention.
Remember, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. We don't have to go too deep into it. They just can't have a nuclear weapon.
So if you had an hour with President Trump in the Oval Office, what would you want him to know? What would you want to tell him? And perhaps most fundamentally, what would you want the power of the American military to actually do to affect change within Iran?
I love President Trump. I love him. And right now he's doing a great job. He said the help is on the way. He didn't tell the protesters that I'm coming right now, because definitely they needed to send some aircraft carrier to make sure Israelis are ready. Everybody in the nation, they are ready, because the Iranian missiles, thousands of missiles, they are all over the country, ready to destroy many countries in that area. US and Israel, they have planned to destroy entire Iranian missile programs. But another mistake by Prince Reza Pahlavi was this: he should wait. Right now, I know that this plan is still there. United States and Israel, they are planning for that. We are not talking about boots on the ground. We have seen Midnight Hammer. We have seen the B-2 bombers, F-35, how they can do the job clearly. During the 12 days war, not even one single civilian have been killed. Israel have done a great job. 1,200 regime people have been killed. We needed that one. We didn't need this bloodshed, which the attack will happen. The people of Iran, they love President Trump to death.
As someone whose political identity was formulated on a college campus, I think one of the most striking parts of this protest movement has been the silence of young Americans on college campuses, especially in regards to the fact that they were quite active and loud during the Free Palestine movement. So what would your message be to those young American college students as to why they should, in fact, support the Iranian protesters?
We know that the college campuses are infiltrated by Marxists and Islamists. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of ideologies. The leftist and Islamist ideologies, it's pumping to schools, injected to every single student's brain by our colleagues, by the professors. This book, which I love to talk about it's the Spirit of the Constitutional Law, which even I challenged Montesquieu in this book, the Spirit of the Laws of Montesquieu. And in this book is a textbook for American universities. And I'm guessing this is the first and only book about constitutional law from the right side of history. All our textbooks are coming from the left, and they are poisoning the students. And then Qatari's regime, Qatar and Iranian regime and China, they are just pumping the money, petrodollars, to our schools. And what do you think should be the result? In my next book, which right now I'm working on it, about Islam is America, Islam in America. In that book, I mentioned, you don't know that. Do you know how Islam came to American school? Let me reveal it for the first time to you. It was an Iranian guy. Hussein Nasr is the first person after the World War II who created Islamic Student Association in Harvard University. He brought Islam, the virus of Islam, to American university. Hossein Nasr is still alive. He's in Washington, D.C., and he's still on board of all these Ivy League schools. And you can't imagine how many grand Ayatollah, how many members of Muslim Brotherhoods, they are sitting on the boards of all these schools, and they are bringing up the professors, Islamists, Marxists, And yeah, definitely they are not going to say anything bad about Iranian regime. And they are all just robots to talk about Israel. Israel is bad. It's a genocide. No, the real genocide is happening in Iran right now. And they are all silent. Shame on them.
Unfortunately, you are 100% right. Amir, this has been a really fascinating conversation. I want to thank you for making the time and for all your advocacy on behalf of the Iranian people. Amir Fakhravar, he is the Senate Chairman of the National Iranian Congress. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or if you want to see a particular topic addressed, make sure to put it down in the comments, and feel free to keep the conversation going through all of your questions or yellings or rants. Find me on social media. Just type in Shabbos Kestenbaum. You're not going to find many other Shabbos Kestenbaums, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you all very soon.